In my trash bag raft video, the raft held my weight pretty well. I could have probably paddled fine on that.
Yeah, you're gonna need a longer paddle to clear the garbage bags.
But as soon as I added my backpack and all that extra weight, and I went out about 50 feet from shore, a motorized boat came by. I'd say we had a minor malfunction. I think what happened is the wake caused one of my trash bags to pop out on one of the corners, and the whole thing capsized. I've got my tow rope, and I'm just towing the raft. There's a few things that I learned from this. I don't really want to use trash bags anymore. I need something more solid, and also the base needs to be bigger to hold all my gear. So there's a lot of room for improvement. All right, so here's my next bright idea. I got these 4-inch pieces of PVC and some end caps, which I'll glue on the ends. Oh, I think we need more glue here. It goes down further than I thought. I'm just going to take some Gorilla Tape and attach the frame to these 4-inch PVC sewer pipes. Today I'm out here with my wife. Wave to the camera, hon. And this is plan B. I've got some improvements here, the most important of which are these PVC flotation devices. I'm hoping that they will keep this thing afloat, and I have some decking to expand some of the space. Not really meant for walking on, but I could put my gear on there if I needed to. And this time I'm hoping to decrease the setup time by using the zip ties. My wife is sitting here by the lake making dolls. Good day for an umbrella. Oh, there's a lot of wind power. Whoa. Interesting. I had the 4-inch PVC pipes with the end caps. I thought they were airtight. 2 of them seemed to have been, but 2 were not. So that didn't even hold my weight either. Water seeped in through the end caps, so we definitely don't have an airtight seal or a watertight seal. I also think maybe it's not enough flotation. So it's back to the planning board. Yeah, I could go on Marketplace and find a used boat, but the goal here is to fit everything in my little rice burner car. And I also kind of like the idea of not depending on air. Things didn't work out so well with the trash bags. A minor malfunction. I've got some improvements here. And instead of using trash bags, I'm going to use some pontoons that I make here in the backyard. But first off, and most importantly, this is where the umbrella goes, so we can have some shade out on the lake. Instead of using a screw with a wing nut here, which I found to be a little dangerous because it was at eye level, I whittled this little piece of firewood, made the hole big enough. That goes right in there. There's no danger of poking my eye now. Now down here at the base, I have a dowel that I made from a piece of firewood, and I just put a screw up through with some washers on both sides and a wing nut so I can take that off if I need to. Just basically heated it up and sliced it and bent it. So that fits on there a bit tightly. I decided to use a piece of 1/2-inch plywood because I thought that would hold my weight best. So I'll be sitting here. I'm thinking about getting a chair to put on there. And then on this side, over here, I found this at Lowe's. It's meant for some type of siding application. It's clear, but it's a little more sturdy than the plastic corrugated stuff. So that's why I chose that, and maybe I'll see some fish or something under there. I don't know, I doubt it, and it's all put together with these zip ties. So no more wing nuts and screws. Now I could have just stopped it right here at this PVC and put a zip tie there, but I decided to make it look a little more boat-like and made this triangular feature here. My thought is that I'll be sitting here on the plywood in the seat eventually, and my gear would be on this side. So I'll have a full backpack over there, and I think that will fairly evenly distribute the weight. I'm gonna flip this over so we can see the other side, and as you can see, I have 2 long pieces, which are actually broken up with these T-connectors, so I could have supports going across. But the real question is, will it float? So now I came up with what I think is a fairly unique idea. I mean, I haven't seen anyone else do it, but while I was on the lake, I saw these pontoon boats and got to thinking, what if I could make a pontoon or 2 pontoons for this little craft? So that's what I did. And here it is, 2 of them. One for each side. Let me get the other one. That goes there. The first thing we need to do is make a form for the foam. And I'm gonna take this poster board and attach 3 of them together and kind of make a tube like this. So this was my first attempt at making a tube. But I found out that instead of making 3 of these tubes individually, I need to tape them all together first and then loop them into a cylindrical shape. So let's try this. We'll take 3 sheets of poster board, and the first thing I'm going to do is measure from the top down 3 inches. And if I mark it at 3 inches, then the cylinder will be about 6 inches in diameter. And I'm hoping that will provide enough foam to float my craft. Now that I have a 3-inch line on all 3 pieces, I'm going to lay them out like that. We'll do 2 first. Now I want to also measure 3 inches this way because I like the idea of having a 3-inch overlap. Draw that line. I'll just line this poster up with that line that I just drew. And I'm going to use some Scotch tape to just tack it in place. And then we'll overlap it here to get to the edge. And make sure you press that firmly. Now if you're trying this at home, be careful that you don't slide your hand along the poster board because you can get a paper cut pretty easily. That hurt. So I found if I tied some twine in the middle and on both ends, that kind of helps hold it in place while I get the exact seam taped down. So it is over 6 feet. The next thing I want to do is tape some around here just for reinforcement. So now the outside is reinforced. The outside seams are all covered with duct tape. So now all we have to do is figure out how to block one of these ends so the foam doesn't pour out. How about if we just take some cardboard and trace out a circle? So that's all sealed with duct tape now. Well, it's finally over 73 degrees, which is required to use this lifeboat foam. And I'm gonna mix equal portions of this, 1 to 1. I'll put 8 ounces of one of them into a measuring cup and then add 8 ounces of the other and stir it vigorously. And then once it's mixed thoroughly, I'm gonna pour it down the top of that cylinder. And it should form a nice solid base and expand, hopefully upward, so we can get, what do you call it, a pontoon type of thing. Oh yeah, and I'll put a link in my Amazon store in the description if you're interested. I'll say it takes 10 to 20 seconds is all, till it's milky. I think we're ready to pour it in now. Let's go do it. Yeah. Looks like it's foaming. I don't see any leaks at all. Here's round 2. 16. All right, starting to rise. I'm going to do one more 8-ounce mixture, 8 ounces of each solution, and that should bring us high enough, but probably won't overflow the top. That is really getting close to the top. Look at it rise. Well, that worked out pretty well. I did it in 3 steps, and we have about half the solution left, so we can make one more pontoon. So I let this cure overnight. Some of it won't peel off at all. It's really adhered to the foam. Now, just to get it to glide through the water with flowery ease, I took this drywall saw and just made a point. Not exactly as pointy as I wanted. One of my primary goals with this craft was to make it so it comes apart easily and assembles easily. So now all I have to do is figure out how to attach the pontoons to the craft. And the easiest solution I came up with was to use this bungee cord, and then on the other side I took a zip tie and just put it around the PVC crossbar. Stick the zip tie through there. Listen for the zips. Attach that there. That's not going anywhere. So today I came with the Redneck Raft 3.0, and it has a new improved sleek design. So we're gonna see if this works. No, that's a no-go. Back to the planning board. You know, it occurred to me as I was driving home, I still have these trash bags in the car, and I could have inflated them and put them in between those two pontoons. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So I'll have to go back. I brought my wife here to a doctor appointment, and I figured while I'm waiting, I might as well work on the raft. I didn't inflate them all that much, just enough to be a little bit above the foam pontoons. There's too much air in the bags. It's making the middle too lofty. Back to the drawing board once again. I've lost track of what plan this is. Next, I'm going to try putting these two pontoons, PVC pontoons, in between. I've got them attached. Let's try it out. Just with the bungee cord. 2 bungee cords. So this guy that works for the state just gave me some advice. He said to put some outriggers on it so it wouldn't be as tippy. So I could use the trash bags in between and then have the 2 PVC pipes as outriggers. But I'll have to go home and reconstruct it to be able to do that. I found this little lake about 30 minutes from home. So it's a little cold. It's about 35 degrees. Getting a little bit late in the season to be doing this, especially when it looks like they've pulled the dock in for the season, so I can't balance myself out there. I got the outriggings on, and this bungee cord is wrapped around this twice and zip tied. These PVC pipes just go under the foam. Hopefully they won't snap on me. I don't think I'm going to use the umbrella today. It's not really that sunny and it's cold. So let's get the show on the road. I'll just use it to keep my balance a little bit. It's still kind of tippy, and I'm pretty low in the water because I know if I put my pack on here, it's gonna sink. I'm actually planning to go camping tomorrow night. I have to take this boat out onto the lake and paddle about 15-20 minutes over to the primitive campsite. But today's pretty full, so I'm not sure how much time I'm gonna have to jury rig this makeshift death trap today. So after that last failed attempt, I brought the vessel home, and I'm kind of sensing, I just loosened these green bungee cords, and these bags are just not holding air. I was surprised that just about all the air that I had in here is gone. And these bungee cords were squeezing these pontoons together. And to make these pontoons stay in place along the outside of the vessel, I got these giant zip ties. Oh, and I forgot to put these outrigging poles through underneath the pontoons. So once I did that, then I tightened the zip ties. This time I trapped air in the trash bag by tying a knot as tightly as I could, and then I put a zip tie on one side of the knot and another one the lower side. And for added safety, I've got some Gorilla Tape strapped in the two end trash bags that have air in them. And I'm gonna leave this out until I put the outrigging PVC pipes through there, just so I can be careful to guide them through without puncturing the bag. All right, I've got the boat set up. This is the $40 one I got on Marketplace. And this is the over $41 one that I built myself. And I'm gonna try and put all this weight from this pack on there and see if it'll hold me and the camping gear. And the most important part, the umbrella. Never leave home without it. Easy peasy. Just don't sneezy. It's a little tippy, but not as bad as before. It's all about how much air you have in the trash bags underneath. Let's try this one more time. So I'm out here on the boat, and it's responding very well. In fact, it's better than the rubber raft as far as turnability, if that's a word, is concerned. And this time I'm sitting on the deck with the pack in front of me to even out the weight. And there are little adjustments that I can see. That's the way it is when you're making stuff. You see new, improved ways you could do things. My wife and granddaughter are on shore over there, so someone can call 911 if need be. And I'm just drifting away, hopefully not too far. Over there is where I want to go camping, on the other side of that. I think it's an island. On the other side of that island there is a bunch of campsites, primitive campsites. I could hike 2 miles through the woods there, or take a 15-minute paddle. So that's my goal. Here comes a boat, so we'll see how it responds to the waves. Oh, it's getting up on deck, getting my butt wet. Be nice to have a little seat that's an inch or two off the platform. This is working out great. It's all about the air in the trash bags. Of course, the pontoons too. But this time I only have 3 trash bags, and they're just very slightly over the pontoons. And this time, instead of using bungee cords, I just used duct tape, or Gorilla Tape rather. Yeah, this thing is way easier to row than a rubber raft. It's not as tiring. Maybe because I'm seated on the platform and not on the backpack, it makes it more comfortable too. I just don't like getting wet, especially as it gets colder. Pretty pleased with this so far. Of course, when I go camping, I'm going to bring extra trash bags in case we have another malfunction like last time. There's something peaceful about being out here on the lake, just drifting along. Look at that. Nice. I was even able to bring my granddaughter out on the makeshift raft with me. Didn't go far from shore.